What do you mean, why?
Why are you busy?
I'm busy!
Why?
Why?
We're not starting the stream until you tell me why.
I told Nick we got to get going because I'm busy. Okay, well.
So?
I have a meeting with the other stay-at-home dads.
Was I not?
What do you mean, where you're not what?
Was I not invited to this?
You're the freaking chairperson. You're in charge of running the stay-at-home dad meeting. Are you not going to be there? Then I don't need to be there, right? If you're not going to show.
My man.
All right.
Welcome to the morning.
Welcome to Mourning.
Welcome to Mourning the Morning. My name is Nicholas Nieblis.
I'm Shawn Warner.
Sean Warner.
Coming at you.
Nieblis.
Woo!
Listen up, folks.
Nice mime work there.
Let's talk.
Can we talk about how mimes are always stuck in boxes? These, how do they get in there?
I don't know.
You never see that part.
I assume there's a lid, the self-locking mechanism.
Okay. So you're saying they're just falling in boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm betting.
Mm-hmm. They're always surrounded by ropes. Oh, nice. Good pull-up, man.
Nice.
Solid.
Yeah.
You got a half a pull-up there. I apparently am dressed like a coach today.
You are so much dressed like a coach today, man.
Billy! Team! Get
off that base!
Let's take a knee, boys. Let's take a knee.
You told me earlier, because I was like, hey, you got to go tell Tyler that he's not in a position, and I need you to, like, pop up the shorts, hand on the hip. Tyler! Come here! Come here!
What?
Come here!
That's how my coach used to talk to me.
That's how my coaches used to talk to me.
Yeah. That's what I was used to.
I'm glad that coaches aren't allowed to talk to kids that way anymore.
Right.
Right? That's a trend that we're glad that ended.
Trends that need to end.
Ends.
Mm-hmm.
Trends that ends.
And I think this is going to be a polarizing year for trends.
Boy. Let me ask you this. Was it a blue dress or a gold dress?
I don't know anything about that, but Grover definitely
said the
dropped
F word.
the F word. Renee's like, no, I don't hear it. I'm like, that's all. When I tell you the word, she's like, what word? I'm like, he's dropping the F-bomb. And then she's like, now I hear it.
Yeah. I don't think that he did. I don't think that he did. I think there was an accident of like a jumbling of words that were in that line.
Sesame Street would never allow that.
It's so heavily edited.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, those are some of the nicest people in the world whose passion or
save for the guy who did Elmo.
Yeah.
That dude is problematic.
He was
so is Bryan Singer. Oh gosh,
boy.
he's getting in the news again. Thank God. Let's get some stuff over these. Chris Brown's getting arrested in France. Everybody's getting their comeuppance. Comeuppance!
If Bryan Singer asked you to be one of his projects,
fuck you, Bryan Singer. Hell no. Get out of here. I don't give a shit.
So finally you sell out only so far.
Hell yeah, I sell only so far. To like, again, here's the thing. It's not just one person. It's not just two people. Okay? 2 is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. More than 3, you're done with me. You're done.
Very Hollywood that we want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Burn it down!
Burn it down!
Burn it down! I'm
not a blip on Bryan Singer's radar, okay? Like,
how do you know?
I'm not young enough.
How do you know? He watches the show.
Doubt it. We're not young enough. Again. Let's talk about trends that need to end.
Yeah. Let's pop on here. What kind of trends do you think need to end?
Clothing trends.
Oh boy.
I don't like saying clothing trends should end. I'm fine with clothing going wherever it goes.
Because I let my daughter dress any way she wants.
Right? I don't care.
I haven't dressed her since she was 2.
Here's something though. Like my wife and I have had a little bit of a discussion about we want to be body positive in our house, right? We have 3 girls. We want to be body positive. However, when my girls want to wear clothes that are revealing, right? My oldest is 11 years old.
Yep.
She's turning 11 in about a month or so, or less than that. But if she wants to wear short shorts and like show her belly or whatever else, or wear even like a bikini at the beach, how much modesty, does modesty have a role in the feminist movement? This is coming from a place of complete, I do not know the answer to this. So I don't want to say that I do. I'm just saying, like, is modesty something that we should be concerned or something that we should communicate? And I think that maybe it has something to do with just maybe self-respect and whatnot. But if you also, like, if you're full of self-respect and you want to show what you got, most people, when you're an adult, say, like, do you, right?
They do that. Yeah, for sure.
I would like to see somebody's opinion on children. Like, because my 11-year-old, I personally don't think she should wear, like, booty shorts and makeup and those kinds of things. And when she grows boobs, I don't think that she should necessarily be popping out of her shirt or showing a shit ton of cleavage. I don't think that this is an unfair assessment as a parent, as a male, as, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
I don't want to see that.
I don't
want to see kids,
of course,
walking around with what's with all that skin. Like, right. I don't need to see that. Like,
where does that come from, though? I understand that is your own feeling in response to that, but like, where does that come from? Like, does that come from that patriarchy telling you that, you know, women shouldn't whatever? Or is that coming from a place of, like...
I think there's a matter of respect in modesty. Same thing growing up in school. You couldn't wear saggy pants. Like, your belt couldn't be too long.
Why is saggy pants immodest? Is it because it shows your underwear?
There's that. I think if sloppiness...
Now that's going a different way, though. That's being unkempt, but unkempt
it all comes down to, it's not really being modest, but it's disrespectful. I mean, back in the day, we all used to wear suits and hats.
Hold on now.
You know what I mean?
To me, that's a little bit of, I mean, that's economic bigotry. Because back in the day, everyone used to wear suits if you had money to buy a suit. You know what I mean? And even now, like, people can still look nice while looking, quote-unquote, sloppy.
Right.
You know? I see some dudes wearing saggy pants, big old shirts, but their shoes are clean as shit. Their pants are pressed nicely. Their shirts are, you know what I mean? The dude, hat matching, everything. Dude's looking tight.
But that ensemble cost you a fortune.
Of course, but what I'm saying, though, is like, there's a thin line between calling something
if your underwear is showing, again, that's just like skin showing. You are...
it's literally not.
I know it's not literally not, but it's... Then wear your underwear on the outside. It's disrespectful.
Some people do. Here's a trend that's going... have you seen this? Mm-hmm. This is, you know, young girls and adult women I've seen wearing these things where these bras have, like, the lace strap instead of a regular strap. Mm-hmm. And it tends to, like, you can show it more because it's not like, oh, it's just a bra strap. It's more like decorative.
Okay.
So people are legit just wearing straight up bra and then, like random fabric just draped over them. You ever seen, like, these girls walk where the whole side of them is open like this?
Are you okay with it?
I don't know. I don't know if I am. I don't, like, if my daughter wanted to wear that,
you wouldn't be okay.
I don't know.
You wouldn't be okay with it. You can still teach your daughter,
but it's her
good body image,
her
confidence, being respectful to herself and others.
Let me ask you this though: if
really, here's where it is. The respect starts in the home, and if you don't like her wearing it, even in the house, then she shouldn't be wearing it in public. If it's not for you, if I was over here,
I don't really control what they wear in the house. They can basically wear whatever. I mean, sometimes they're just running around in underwear. And I'm like, put some freaking pants on. Like,
if somebody comes over, what if I'm here? I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Sometimes Ruby's running around in her underwear.
She's very young and
4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, that's not.
I would say
my daughter took her shirt off at the gym yesterday. I walk in to help some other kids of clients that were showing up.
It'd be different if
she's
your daughter
in there with no shirt.
Yeah, it'd be different if your daughter was 12.
Completely,
exactly,
of course.
Right? So that we do agree there are ranges and appropriateness levels for things. I had this conversation with somebody on Reddit the other day about a book.
What up, Ron? Ron's watching.
Ron Blakely! Ron Blakely, folks. Check him out. Beautiful voice. Oh. I'm in love with Ron Blakely's voice. You know.
Angel.
An angel sent from heaven.
Yes.
We need to sing something together, Ron. We should do a singing video together. We'll talk about it. What were we talking about?
We're talking
Modesty.
modesty trends need to end, but you were okay with clothing trends.
Okay. So
like,
I was having a
people wear
conversation
whatever
with
you
somebody about books, right? I was saying like, I want to introduce my kids to these books. Are they appropriate for them? And I said the ages of my kids, between 5 and 11.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, well, if you're limiting anything that your children read, then you're a bad parent. I'm like, what?
That's ridiculous.
That's it. Like, take that to the extreme. Like, if my kid finds a porno, should I let him keep it?
There's a good article. You're a terrible father.
Even then, magazines that aren't pornography, but could have a fairly impactful impression on a young anyone. Like a Maxim magazine. Like, we don't even have Maxim magazines in the house because I feel like I don't like anything that goes along with that. So should I or should I not limit what they consume? I think that there are appropriateness levels based on the individual child's development and maturity.
Okay.
Because your kids are 2 different people.
Yep.
My 4 kids are 4 different people, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's possible for my oldest kid to be more immature than my youngest kid at times. So depending on what maturity level they're at, what they require, like, I think we have to do it play by play. That's why I don't think you can make these decisions of like, oh, your kid should be modest because you just got to cover it with like one big sweeping decision. You got to play it by ear.
That's being a good parent. That's you censoring that material.
Thanks, man.
That's you saying, I don't feel comfortable. So Renee, my wife, wanted to put lipstick on Kinley.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, she'll only do it in the house. Like, and I'm like, I don't see why she needs that.
She's only going to do it in the house, but meanwhile, you pull out of the driveway, she's standing on the sidewalk, fishnets.
Oh, stop.
What? I thought it would be cute, Shawn.
Yeah. There you go, fishnets. There's another piece.
There are some mothers, I don't know if there's any I'm sure there are, but there are some parents who think that it is, quote unquote, cute to dress their children up in sexually provocative ways. I think that that is
don't give me the link on
wrong.
Any of that garbage.
It's wrong. Like, even the toddlers and tiara stuff, I think is wrong. Like, there's some of that performance stuff and self-confidence.
Just make it about that.
Just make it about that.
Just make it about that. If they're talented at something,
they don't need
let
a bikini
let
competition.
them be great at that. Why are you putting on bikinis?
They don't need
that's for the beach.
A gown competition, like where their hair's all done up and their makeup. Come on, man. Like, I feel like the pageant industry has single-handedly cornered the 12 and under thong market. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking ridiculous that's even necessary.
That reminds me
that there's
you
gotta do some laundry. I got a few banana hammocks that I need dry cleaned.
Here's the thing: we say all those things, but your child at one point will be an adult, and all of your girls will wear makeup, most likely, as they get older.
Sure. Whatever they do.
So let's not push it. They're gonna do it when they get older anyway. It doesn't need to be pushed at that age.
And I think
let them just be them and just concentrate on this.
I think that is a fantastic point. In that, when raising kids, there's no need to hurry them up in growing up.
They're gonna get there on their own
whatsoever. They will get there. Not that you should try and stifle their
Don't
growing.
Shelter them. Don't.
That's the thing.
Don't do that.
Equilibrium. It's all about equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Just communicate. Oh, communication. That's a trend that needs to go. We are communicating the shit out of ourselves out there.
You know what? I think low effort social media posts.
Ooh.
That's what I think. I think if you have something important to say, or if there's information that you believe needs to be out there, that's fine. Mm-hmm. I think that if you want to take the time to understand an argument and present an argument, or present some point of view that you have, absolutely. But if you share a meme that is factually incorrect, I mean,
maybe they're just trying to make a joke.
And
that's low effort too.
That
if
is.
It's not funny.
If it's not funny,
you didn't.
It's the equilibrium of it. Again, if more people think it's funny than not, you're generally safe.
You're right.
If more people think it's not funny, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If more people who only think like you think it's funny, and everyone else who doesn't think like you doesn't think it's funny, it's worth taking a look at. I'm not saying it's objectively not funny, because I'm sure there's times That happens to me. But I'm saying it's worth taking a look at. Do you not agree?
I do agree. Okay. I agree that two guys doing live Facebook feeds is a trend that's on the upward tick.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I'm so. Sometimes I get caught on social media, and I'm just like,
I'm with you. I know what you
dude,
mean.
dude. Yeah. Go out and play, people. Go out and play.
Mhm.
Just get off of it.
Listen.
It's only. Oh. They were doing that on the set of Infinity War, and all the other actors were doing it. And they were just talking about how great it was. Mm-hmm. How great it was to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. Like, it's all great.
Yes, ma'am. Not yet. As soon as we're done here. Love you. What were you just saying? Before we did Black Panther stuff? Before we mentioned the Academy Award winning Black Panther?
Not award winning yet.
Academy Award winning.
Oh, you're just
projecting. Calling it. Okay. Putting it out in the universe.
You think it's going to win Best Picture?
I don't know, man. It's probably not. No, I think it's.
I mean, you can't really say. You've only seen 2 of the Best Picture noms, so.
I mean, that's a testament in itself. It's better than everything I've seen.
Personal choice matters.
I mean, that's the thing. Again, everything's a spectrum, right? Subjective, objective. Mm-hmm. At some point, there's a teeter-totter in the middle, just trying to balance. Mm-hmm. What were you talking about before we said Black Panther stuff?
I don't remember. I have a lot to do today. I'm pretty scattered, so I apologize. I got meetings. That's something that needs to end. I don't need to go to my child's transitional kindergarten meeting. What is she going to tell me, Nick?
What?
What is she going to... It's a parent-teacher conference.
At a TK meeting?
What is...
Unless she sits you down and rolls out your child's satchel of weapons that she brought to school.
Oh.
Mr. Warner.
Yeah.
I just like to...
Oh, boy. Okay. I thought you might bring this up.
Yeah, this is a serrated steak knife that we confiscated from your daughter.
But you see, it's not just like a regular kitchen knife. We tape the handle. It really gives good grip for striking.
Oh, that's not... Yeah. I'm sorry. Were you under the impression that we don't like these weapons because they're not effective enough?
That's what I'm hearing. What about the mace? Like, you rarely see those anymore.
Full. Yeah, nobody uses mace anymore. Right, Pepper spray is usually just as effective.
Sure.
It's unnecessary to be this high.
It's probably poisonous at some point.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, it's leaking.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's it stings. I'll just zip up the plastic bag.
Better.
I'll just put that over here so you can take home. Okay.
Okay.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about is the piano wire.
Okay, what's wrong? What do you have a problem with piano wire?
Now, we don't necessarily...
It makes beautiful sounds.
Of course, we don't necessarily disallow piano wire by itself. However, you will notice the wooden handles connected on either end.
Sure, that's for
cutting cheese, I assume. That's what Kinley said.
That's my girl.
Okay. Yeah.
Cheese. We like to make sandwiches. We do it
She
together. It's a bonding moment.
She did have it wrapped around another child who was refusing to share their Play-Doh.
Well, why has that kid got all the Play-Doh? I don't understand.
Well, the kid is homeschooled now because they refuse to come back because of your daughter.
You want me to go talk to him? Or?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. That's my right.
Now
to go
this
do
right
that.
here,
Sure.
At first I thought that maybe it was some molding clay, but having tested it, it is 100% C4.
Yeah.
I have to
what
say,
do you have a problem with molding clay? I don't.
It's not molding clay. It's C4.
Yeah, you can still. It still molds. Watch, I'll show you.
No, I need you to not touch that, please. We do have the FBI coming soon. So
I got guys in the FBI. I know them.
Great. You can talk to them.
Cool.
Hey!
Parent-teacher governance.
For a TK.
She glues really well. Her cutting skills are unbelievable.
I gotta say, Mr. Warner, her sharing skills are at a puppy dog face when they should be at a star bargain.
Oh boy.
Who's this guy?
I like the sparkle.
I make faces sometimes. My wife's like, stop.
Oh, really?
She's like, those faces are disturbing.
No, I
Yeah.
can't find that. Give me one. Give me one. That's not disturbing. With the sound, it's even better. Hey, buddy. Welcome to Starbucks. How may I help you?
You guys serve coffee?
What? What? Maybe you should cut down on the coffee. Maybe.
Why? Why?
You seem stressed.
No. Coffee, please, latte. Latte!
How is that? How is that disturbing? Oh, I love it.
Oh, gosh, that takes...
Well, that'll wear you out. Imagine getting stuck in a bit for like 15 minutes.
Shit. I can't go I just can't. I'm careful, like, that started to sound like the voice. This is something that I gotta be aware of. That everyone has, we talked a little bit about like the PC culture and how it exists on both sides of the aisle. You know, people saying you can't joke about that, you can't joke about that. Everyone deciding politically you can't joke about shit. Right. The center's like, well, everyone likes farts.
Right. How dare you?
Although I've known some conservative.
You said
folks,
that with a hard F.
Oh well, capital too.
How dare you?
I've known people in my life, growing up with them.
Are you sure it was this world? Sure it was
Or
this
the
world?
next, my friend. Who were their parents said that fart was a bad word.
Oh, come on.
That you had to say you tooted.
Oh, brother.
That you tooted. And somebody's name in that family was Tootie. She farted a lot. I feel like I said I cursed with my daughter today. She didn't curse, but I did curse, and it was a very strategic, like, I'm going to drop a little bit of a curse word in our normal conversation to somewhat normalize it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone agrees with my view on curse words, but I don't think any words in themselves are bad. I think there are words that are appropriate for different people and things and places and whatever. Like, I think it's inappropriate for anyone who is not. Let's skip that. I want to go to. If you're not black, I don't think you should say the N-word. That's what I think. Then you decide for yourself whatever you want to do with that. It just doesn't make sense.
It's well documented.
Well documented. Not allowed.
We shouldn't even be talking about
Louis
it.
C.K. did it in a stand-up bit, and I was very impressed with the way he did it. But then we also found out other stuff, and it makes that also void. So let's just move on. But I don't believe in like bad words. So I was talking to her today, and I was asking her about being late because it was like 8:40. You know, school. The late bell's 8:45.
Okay.
You know, so we're on our way. We're like, we're only 2 minutes away, but traffic is a nightmare. Mm-hmm. And I asked Lael, and I was like, when you get like a late pass or whatever, dropped off late, if you're a few minutes late, does the teacher give you a hard time about it? She's like, no. You still have to go through the office? Yeah. Okay. I was like, well, I mean, maybe they probably are aware, and this is what I said to her. I said, well, they're probably aware that the driving and drop-off situation here is a shit show. Right. You know what I mean? And I was like, it's insane. She was like, right. And I was like, so simple little word, whatever. But the fact that she didn't like, but I've seen people react to just words, just somebody just using a word. Just,
And anyone who's picked up or dropped off their children knows it's a shit show. I feel like that's a fairly apt description of what it is.
Look, there are sometimes.
Here's what it's.
Sometimes the only weight of measurement for something is a fuck ton.
That's right. I got a fuck ton of charisma. You know what I'm saying?
What were you gonna say?
It's like my 5-year-old has said. He'll say a bad word, but he doesn't understand what it is he's saying. He just knows he's heard it in speech. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, what
and
they're
they're fun.
Do you know what that means? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's, parents just
don't understand.
Parents just don't understand. Wow. Oh, man.
I'm going to grab it.
Yeah.
How?
Nice. This poster back here looks like a silhouette of a man.
Gotta do Scaradouche!
Will you do the
Fandango!
Good stuff.
I'm ridiculous. I'm a ridiculous person.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So a lot of people have said to me over the last week or so, "Nah, that's your charm." Like, wait a second.
That sounds like negging.
Like I'm like,
that's not reinforcement, right?
I think so. Like it seems like people are maybe like noticing like my faults and
They
stuff.
say like
my
this.
flaws, like,
Yeah, that's your charm.
yeah. Yes. Literally exactly that way.
Yeah. He's just trying to be nice, saying you're an obnoxious asshole.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I understand that I can be. I have a tendency to be. I also am somewhat opinionated.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I tend to have an opinion on literally everything.
I like that.
So, yeah. But here's what I was thinking. I was thinking the other day. You know what? If I was less charming, less attractive, my mouth would get me in more trouble than it already does. Huh?
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with that.
Asymmetrical, not asymmetrical, symmetrical face,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of charm goes a long way.
I like that.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You're going to be famous, dude. Your charm will ride you to the top.
Well, I hope effort.
Not you riding charm. The charm will ride you
No,
to
charm's
the
gonna-
top.
Come on, charm!
Let's go!
It's like, I'm on your back, sir.
I have a thought. I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but the trend of parents trying to solidify their online presence by using their children. Like, we agree that pranking your kids is too much.
I
For
don't
the
like
sake
pranking
of-
your kids.
How about when they show videos of like discipline? Why can't, like, there's nothing sacred anymore. Isn't that really all about parents?
Aren't those usually just outrageous videos of discipline, like somebody shooting up their laptop or something like
Right,
that?
that's what I'm saying. That needs to end.
I saw a video of somebody shooting up a laptop a few years ago, and I think I kind of somewhat agreed with
Some
it.
of these freaking videos are full on production. Like, we don't have that kind of production. We do this twice a week. Do you know what I mean?
We need money!
We need some money. Someone's
If you go to HelloFresh.com/Mourning the Morning with Nick and Shawn, foodstuffs, #farewell, #take a knee, #NFL, #GoCat. Go.
And you can still buy chicken cacciatore by HelloFresh, but none of that is true. Okay.
Catch a Tory, catch a Labor Party. Listen.
Hello!
We
need a hype man that just pops in.
¡Ay, Dios mío!
Whatever.
You remember that Fred Armisen sketch on SNL? He had the timbales and he was like, "Ay, Dios mío!" And it was a slide.
Was it?
Woo!
Terrible.
Woo! Kicks!
Oh. We're standing in the last 4 shows. We've had completely different locations.
I know,
We
right?
just keep
People are like,
moving.
these guys move?
Wow.
My hip. Oh, I should have stretched before.
Are you
that.
okay? Are you all right?
My hip, man.
Is it real in there? Can you get in there?
No, I don't need you to get in there.
Why?
I really don't.
Come on, grow up. This is
Stop it.
strictly therapy. Come on.
For who? Therapeutic for who?
For me and my
Okay,
imaginary
okay.
Daddy Woods.
Daddy Woods. That's creepy. Gosh, 2019, Shawn.
Oh shit.
Whew. Trends,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Do I turn the air on? A little toasty in here?
It's a little toasty, but I'm okay. We don't have much further to go. Stick with us, people.
All right, fair
Stick with us.
enough.
We got places to be, Nick. Things to do. I know people. I know things. I know places. I know people, places, and things. That's right. Things to do. I gotta be somewhere. Transactions to make. I feel like a giant hook's gonna come out and pull me off.
Everybody expected me to jump back in like some kind of fucking monkey. That's your dancing monkey, okay? I am not yours for your amusement.
Now say it as Obama.
Now, listen here. I am not. You're a dancing monkey.
Now it's Christian Slater.
I'm
See how he bends at my will. It's so great.
I'm not really here to amuse you.
I realized I had this much power. It's
really,
amazing.
It's not really. I don't know. It's something about. I'm not your dancing monkey. I'm just not.
You know what my son said to me yesterday?
Give me another, man. I'm still performing here.
Freddie Mercury.
How about Rami Malek? I want to just do that.
Yeah. My son says.
How do you want me to?
He says. He's like, I don't get this Queen. I don't get this. That Bohemian Rhapsody way overrated. I just don't get it. They need to go. I was like, jeez. I was like, well, the guy's already dead. Like, and they're more relevant than ever right now.
That is a young person who has a lack of experience.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Freddie Mercury was.
How do you know he hasn't heard their whole catalog and came to this conclusion?
It doesn't matter.
I
think that with simple life experience, you understand the effort it would take to sing like that. That's the thing. He doesn't understand the effort behind the ability of Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
I think that
why he has. He was mainly talking about his lyrics. He didn't like his lyrics. Okay. He doesn't understand the band.
That's fine. That's a preference, but that is not. That is not a. I don't think that is an accurate judgment of someone's ability. Like for him,
I agree.
Like when
Bohemian Rhapsody, I think it's like the third highest selling single in history.
I mean, it's a great song. I liken that song to The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance in its epicness.
Wait for that to come back in.
What? The Black Parade?
Mm-hmm.
My Chemical Romance?
You love that song.
It's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic song.
I agree.
Those types of songs, like there's, have similar characteristics of Bohemian Rhapsody, like key changes, tempo changes, huge dynamic shifts, right? Operatic vocals, group vocals. It has all of the same things, just somewhat structured differently, and I think those songs are both beautiful.
They're pretty genius. Speaking of music, how much do you know about hip hop and the trend of hip hop and what it looks like now? We are not experts.
Oh gosh, no. I know nothing about. I do know that there are SoundCloud rappers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of them. I think is Xtacian is he? Didn't he get in trouble for something? There's that guy. Was
Post Malone?
Yeah, that guy. Was he a SoundCloud rapper?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about rappers. I know that SoundCloud's a big place for them now. I know a little bit about the East Coast, West Coast beef of the early 90s, and I know a little bit about Pac and Biggie.
Okay. It just seemed like it's a trend, but is this a trend that the youth is pushing clearly?
Of what?
Of this
You sound like an old-ass man right now. Just want to let you know, whenever somebody says, like, the youth.
Well, how else do you want me to classify?
But explain youth is pushing. What does that mean?
Youth always pushes music.
Youth is discovering, though.
The demographic.
They're not pushing. They discover and then they share it. So, I mean, what is... Right. Do you think that there's something in the youth culture right now that is causing them to discover and spread out more? Or is it the fact that they have access to more?
They do have access.
Like, there's a lot more
It's not like
people...
the days where you had to go stand in front of a...
No, Sam Goody.
Sam Goody.
Right?
Tower Records,
right?
Warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, for example, there's a ton of people that are into K-pop, Korean pop music, you know? There's some K-pop artists that are actually crossing over.
It's a big deal.
Into the American mainstream.
It's a big deal, yeah.
So, I mean...
Again, that's not old people. I'm saying it's our youth.
I would say that not necessarily, because even though these artists are younger, they're still probably in their late teens, early 20s, and the people who primarily listen to them are either of the same age or younger, right? So, but the people who are producing, the record executives, the people who are finding these artists and, you know, whatever else, most of these artists are actually building a following first.
Yep.
And then the you know, studio executives and whatnot are saying, oh, we can put some money into this.
What do you think about the trend of influencers, and the money that they make.
I think
because now they're starting to push themselves into legal problems.
Those are all
just by reposting something because of who they are and the.
That is definitely a huge thing. There's YouTube's. I mean, we're on YouTube, but I don't. Obviously, we can be critical of whatever the hell we want.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard some very critical things of YouTube's monetization of videos, and that their copyright is just like it's all automated, so it's ridiculous. It could be somebody else's song, but if somebody claims the copyright first, they essentially lose all monetization of that song, even though it's theirs. And there's really no like real person looking at it and going, no, that's not yours.
That's a problem.
That is a problem.
Wow.
So that's an issue that YouTube is facing. Mm-hmm. I think YouTube personalities, if they don't have the talent, ability, grit, and work ethic, and desire to be better, they will be a flash in the pan.
Oh, no, there's no question about that.
I think that there are some substantial entertainers that are coming from YouTube. I do not think that all of the Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch fame is...
And that's a trend I was going back to earlier, is everybody trying to...
stream their life. You gotta just show everybody your life.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
I just want to be heard. I think that because social media is very selective, it's easy for us to be like, oh, you're just showing the ideal parts of your life.
How is it selective? You mean what people portray on there is selective, sure.
Yeah. Right? Like, it's easy to be hypercritical of something that everyone is so explicitly in control of. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You are explicitly in control of what everyone sees on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows what I want them to know about me. Nobody knew that Kim was sick for 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be like, for those kinds of things.
But people do that.
People do that.
Constantly pour their entire...
Now here's the thing. If we were living in Arkansas or Georgia or Canada or somewhere else and we had no one near us, I would post. Hey, we got, Kim's sick.
Because I'm still living in California.
Because you're in California.
I expect you to FaceTime me.
All of our family, if we didn't have any friends or family near us, we had just moved and we were all sick, of course I would post something. Because you know what? We're far away from people. We're lonely. We're sick. And we want some support. If nothing else, maybe just a little bit of love.
Yeah, and that's something Shawn needs to work on.
What?
I get fairly irate with people's Facebook posts that, like you said, are of little effort or have no entertainment value for me.
I'll tell you what, the low effort posts that I'm okay with are the ones that are just informational. The ones that are like, us and the kids are going out to Yosemite. Cool. All right. Why not? If it's a picture of your family jumping into the van, like you're all packed up, ready to go. Mm-hmm. Because also for me, I take those pictures and I post those things, not for anyone else, but to just catalog us. Like just to catalog our life so that we can look back and be like, this is our dude. We've been on Facebook since we've been married.
That's awesome. And those are little snapshots.
Snapshots of our life. We could go all the way back through our life. And this is one reason why I understand that people say, oh, Facebook is doing shitty stuff with your privacy and your all that stuff. Hold on. They are. They are. They need to stop, and we need to regulate it. But this is new technology that hasn't been regulated. We need to approach these things and see that they are new and affect them accordingly. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
So, but people say, well, quit Facebook. Well, look, I think you have to understand that I'm not super worried about anyone having my information, number one, okay? That they know that I'm, however tall I am and how many kids I have and what kind of soft drinks I prefer.
How do they know what soft drinks you prefer?
Oh, by listening in on the microphone that is in all of our devices. You ever talked about something with your wife and then go to your phone and go on Facebook and have an ad for that same thing?
Never.
I've heard from people who have said that they did.
Never.
Probably not.
Never. The only thing I see pop up is if I'm Googling something and then an ad will pop up. I'm like, okay.
I don't like ads.
Nobody likes ads.
Do you ever click ads?
Oh, never.
I literally never click ads.
Never.
Why do you think nobody would click an ad? Tons of people clearly click ads.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't.
I don't either. In fact, I remember when DVR came out, I was like, oh, great, I'll never have to watch another commercial again. I kept thinking, oh, advertising to people through commercials, that is over now. Because nobody's going to watch a commercial when you want to just fast forward to your stuff. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
But now there's more commercials than there ever was. They just found another way. Advertising works.
I don't. Have you heard there's like talk of Netflix adding commercials? Like I saw something come out that was like there was a poll done that Netflix would lose 54% or 41%. It was high of their members.
Polls at? I don't click on polls either. Who's taking polls?
Polls are important.
I understand that, but I don't take them.
Oh, I don't take. Well, I've never taken a poll.
Who's taking them? That's another trend. You see somebody will post from a blog or some poll, then you go in and you read the article, and it's like 12 people.
Right.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to take a poll right now. Hey, Shawn, you for the wall or against it?
I'm against it.
All right. 100% of the people polled are against the wall.
Stupid.
Besides, it's not a wall anymore. It's a series of metal slats.
Oh, man.
Did you see Kellyanne Conway being asked about the wall? Somebody was like, what do you have to say about the poll that says that there's less support for the wall, about the shutdown? She didn't answer the question. She just goes, I don't understand why the mainstream media still keeps calling it a wall when President Trump has said that you can call it whatever you want. It's about protecting the United States. And they're like, well, he literally called it a wall this morning. Well, I don't know why you keep calling it a wall. It's a series of metal slats.
He called it a wall!
Yeah, exactly. I posted the article on Facebook. I was like, the intellectual dishonesty of these people is insane.
I tell you what, when it gets the funding, though, I'm driving down there.
Not getting the funding.
It will. It will happen.
From who?
I'm driving down there, and I'm going to help build.
Look, Shawn,
I'm going to help build. It
I'm
ain't to
gonna
keep
need
people
you.
from getting in.
It's to keep me from getting out.
I'm
not in here with you. You're in here with me. Did you know that AOC tweeted that?
No.
Somebody said something about, like, you can't reel in Latina girls, and she's like, y'all aren't in here with me. You're in here with me. And I'm like, that a girl? Go get him.
She'd be fun to play racquetball with.
She'd whoop your ass.
What? No. She might.
I mean, she'd convince you on gun control after their match.
That's what I'm saying. I want to talk policy with her while playing racquetball.
She's smart.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't it suck though that I think she's running a very good. I find her charming. I find her endearing, but
it's your charm that will carry you.
But also, obviously, you can see how people can find her abrasive because she is being saying it how she is. She just wants to say, and this is the thing, she's saying it how she is.
I don't see why they could say that. Even on her own party can say these things because we just have elected a guy who's doing nothing but stirring shit up. And she's not allowed to stir something up.
And everyone loves that he, all his supporters love that he just says it how it is. And you have somebody who's saying it how it is with the backing of truth, with the backing of compassion and empathy and wanting what is best for all Americans.
What's crazy is how calm Obama was. Oh. Which only makes Trump seem even...
He's so chill. Which I feel like...
he smoked a joint during the State of the Union speech, I would not be surprised.
Obama was high all 8 years! Woo! Are you kidding me? Of course he was!
Oh.
I would be! If I was president of the United States...
I saw him on Jerry's show.
I'd have my own little vape.
He was a little too chill. He was a little too
I love when Jerry goes, so, do you ever curse? And Obama's like, oh yeah. I curse. I'm like, say the F word, man! Just do it! Oh, just drop that shit. Although he did drop the N word on Mark Maron's show.
Yes.
I remember that.
You know?
That was like the left and the right were both just like.
Mm-hmm. Nope. I didn't hear it. I didn't...
Gun control! Gun control! Oh, okay!
Hey!
Gun control!
Oh, man.
Did you feel, like, really, though? Like, didn't that kind of feel like that at that time? It's so funny when, like, things...
It made me burst out. Like, I was just like, yeah.
like, whoa.
But he always was a real dude. Like, he was always a real guy.
I had so many conservative friends after Obama's presidency, after 8 years of shit-talking the dude, after 8 years of calling him a secret Muslim, of saying that he was trying to destroy the fabric of America, of saying that he's pushing America into a socialist, communist, extremist, Muslim, Sharia law fucking country. These people are like, Obama wasn't that bad.
They know now. They know now.
Of course he wasn't that bad.
They know
He
now.
was kind of fucking great.
He was pretty cool guy.
Gosh, there were some things that I do not like about Obama's presidency, but
Sure.
as far as presidents go,
He was presidential.
he was good.
Well, on that note, I think we need to end this eight-year term thing. The 4-year term for presidency. Let's get rid of that.
To what?
Oh, much longer. much, no.
Like life?
It should be shorter.
Really?
2 years, yeah.
For president?
Yeah, 2 years.
No, I like 4. I like 4. I think 4 is good. With only 1 re-election, you're good.
They come out of the gate hot. They get most of their work done in the first 6
What I
months.
would say though is that I don't see any reason why. Now hold on. I think we could probably go 3 terms, 4 terms maybe. I think it's important to have strong leadership, and if the country recognizes strong leadership in somebody, it kind of sucks to remove that strong leadership if they're just after
It's a
8 years
timeline.
seeing their policies implemented under their leadership.
Well, that's exactly why the Senate has, and the House has longer terms.
Right.
Because they're working. And if they're doing well, but then the opposite of that coin is if they're not doing well, then we need to enact some change.
I think more than terms, more than those kinds of things, I think it's important to get money out of politics. I think publicly funded. Uncle Sam.
Nice. Nice.
That was a libertarian joke for you. Yeah, and I think we need to just people are going to try and corrupt elections. That's going to happen. We need to stop acting like they're not going to try that. Nobody's going to try and do it in person. That's literally the worst way to do it.
The whole world has a dog in the presidential fight.
Yes.
And in our politics.
Yes.
The whole world.
Yes.
We're seeing that right now.
We need to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop acting as though we are an island unto ourselves and that we are not responsible for a larger impact on the world. You know? Like I said this the other day, and I believe it wholeheartedly, we need to stop acting as though we do not have enough resources to help every single person who wants to come here. We have enough. Out of our abundance, we should give. We have enough. There are literally a handful of people in the world who can write a check and wipe out poverty. Write a check and wipe out world hunger. Write a check and make sure every single person in the world has
You're
clean
on
water.
AOC's dick. Wow. I know her dick's bigger than mine. Oh, this is great.
No, her vagina is. It's 2019.
Oh, boy.
Vaginas can be big too, baby.
It
It doesn't have to be the patriarchy. You don't have to have a masculine phallus. You can have a beautiful little person. It can be just as big and thrusting. Thrusting? That's weird.
As you stick your fist in the air.
Ah!
We are not. No. Fisting. That
Oh, gosh. You know what?
Oh, you say nay.
No, I don't say nay.
Okay.
I say a bunch of...
All
No.
right.
I say nay right now.
Okay.
I say, though, isn't it interesting how... Let's talk about the no thank you. I do want to say, you're not going shoulder deep. This is the most explicit conversation we've had on this.
No,
I
it can't possibly.
think it is. It's sexually explicit.
Sure.
We actually stay away from sex topics quite a bit. Next week, we're going to talk about butt
All about.
Well, I was actually going to say, like, younger, like, people that are my generation and younger, I think millennials, are somewhat fascinated with butts. Even more so than than older generations.
Yeah. Oh, no, there's no question. I never even heard growing up anyone even talking about eating butt. You know what I mean? Like, now they're just...
Everybody eats ass. 2019.
Yeah. That's just... Wow. Oh.
This is the way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know why we keep calling it a podcast when it's just a live stream.
Podcast.
Something light. We're talking about trends, Shawn.
Yeah.
What are the trends should end?
This one, I gotta go.
Cool.
Bad sign-offs.
Oh man! Let's get out of here.